What does that have to do with All American Rejects?
Their fucking hit single, Move Along.
Ah, okay.
Go ahead as you waste
All right,
your
then.
days with thinking.
Should have known better.
When you fall, everyone said.
Yeah, that one's on me.
Hello and welcome to The Answers of Lemon, the smartest icebreakers from the dumbest dudes. Are you seeing friends from out of town? Do you want to entertain them at lunch or on a drive or at a cannabis shop or whatever y'all are doing? Then make them laugh and make them chat with some weird questions from your god of odd, Connor.
Say goodbye to the awkward silence. You can interrupt any moment. Any time that you wish. I just need somebody to talk to me about something obscure. Let's just converse about something we haven't talked about before. That's what we're here for. We will murder the silence with our keenly honed conversation questions.
Helping your god of odd is your humble host, me, Evan. I am Evan. I am he. These questions are great for friends, strangers, coworkers, family. How do I know? Because we're a couple of nerds trying to help a couple of nerds have better conversations, and we use these in day-to-day life, and it surprisingly works out. So we'll show you how that goes.
These questions are not good for pets. Generally can't talk. Parrots may be an exception. Appliances almost always can't talk. Do consult your doctor if that's not the case for you. Yourself, because it's not a conversation, that's a monologue. And we're not about that. You can go consult with the monologue podcast on the other side of town. Your kind is not welcome here.
You can think about the questions and then use them in conversations later. But yeah, that's
right.
That's us. That's the Answers of Lemon. Welcome. Cool.
Feel it.
What do you got for us, Con?
Oh, yes. I needed to tell you.
Yes.
It's a very special week in the good city of Portland.
Please, regale.
It's hot dog week.
I love a hot dog, man. Hot dogs are not just summer food. Hot dogs are all-time food.
Now, and I'm so glad to hear you say that you love a hot dog, because there are lots of hot dogs you would not love during hot dog week. This beloved season in Portland filled with controversy.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm confused because there are a lot of hot dogs that I like. I like a plain hot dog. Bologna tastes wonderful. Ketchup and mustard, very good. Mustard and onion, also fabulous. Chili cheese, ooh doggy, we're talking now. I even love the Seattle dog with the cream cheese weirdness. I think it's super jazzy. I bet, I haven't had one, but I bet the man I am now might even enjoy a Chicago dog. Like there are good options. Are you telling me there are not good options? What is Portland doing, Connor?
Portland is doing sins. The culinary sins, but also like mortal sins, in my opinion. And for the record, this is probably the one time I am pro mortal sin. This is wild experimentation. There will be consequences. There will be casualties. But this week, there are just like maybe 36 different restaurants, all organized into official hot dog week locations. They have big posters out in front of their establishments saying that we're the ones who have been officially sanctioned to do the special hot dogs this time.
Okay. What a wonderful honor. Can we skip ahead to the sinning portion? What are these sins that people are committing with processed pork or beef, I guess?
Let's talk about things like the raw Men at Work hot dog.
I love Men at Work. They're a great band. But what makes them raw? Do they not like cook the dog? Is it just fresh out of the fridge? Like, what's the deal?
No, good sir. They are not just uncooked. It's ramen at work. Raw Men at Work. This is a dashi brine smoked soubrette with pickled ginger relish, Suno Mono Salad, Miso Kewpie, and Bonito. All in one delectable dog.
Okay, hang on. Like, as someone who has eaten and vehemently disliked Vegemite, if you're having a men at work hot dog, you need to put Vegemite on it. Like, why are you pulling a fantastic Australian band and putting it into Japanese cuisine? This does not make sense to my brain.
I have no idea. It doesn't connect with me. Neither does. And this
is not the culture clash that God intended.
All hot dogs are equally valid, which is to say that they are exactly as valid as the standard hot dog. Not supposed to exist. We have snuck this one past God as a food.
And I'm so grateful.
And we've deepened that with the Perro Chilero, which has mombacho sauce, melted cheddar. Sounds so good so far. Depending on what mombacho sauce is.
Yeah, I don't know what mombacho sauce is, but I do love a sauce.
Shaved green plantains and pastrami.
Okay. All right.
Which, in my opinion, is already totally unmanageable in a sandwich when you have a roof and a floor to pinch it between. You still need to, like, wrestle it out like a wolf tearing the flank off of a deer.
You need to go to a better deli, bud, because pastrami is so much better than that.
I enjoy the flavor of pastrami, but it is not an easy meat.
See, ignoring your textural things, the part that's sticking with me too is pastrami is an overpowering flavor. I don't see this tasting more than pastrami and stuff instead of a hot dog with like pastrami as an ingredient. No, the pastrami is going to beat up the hot dog and the other ingredients. Unless, I don't know, mombacho sauce is the most powerful thing. Yeah. I don't understand.
Don't know.
How many of these are you going to eat?
A lot of them I think I'm just going to admire and despise from afar. Because I can't devote my life to sampling every hot dog because I have more things to do.
Can I send you the money and then you eat the one with mombacho sauce and then you tell me on a future podcast what it tastes like?
That's a pretty good sell. Yes, you can pay me to eat a hot dog for sure. There's also an elote inspired hot dog where someone said, "Hey, you know what's shaped kind of like a hot dog is corn on the cob," and they do some fun stuff with that in Mexico. Why don't we just do that on a hot dog instead?
Sure, party down.
Somebody else. So like, and this I have feelings about just because it is no longer a hot dog at this point. It's called the Polish Ambassador, and it is just kielbasa with 2 pierogi on a plate.
Sign me up. Yes, I mean, delicious.
It sounds great.
I love a kielbasa dog. It's not a hot dog. It's kielbasa dog. They're different.
Sir. No bun. No bun.
There's no bun. What the fuck?
I know.
No.
The kielbasa dog already exists.
Those potato-filled dumplings into a fucking half slice of white bread that you call a bun.
No bun.
Okay,
right there.
All right.
They opted out of the bun.
Enough of this. We're done with hot dogs. How have you been?
I've been consumed, Evan.
In a nightmare because
consumed.
It's just hot dog. Connor's life is now hot dog.
I'm excited. I'm excited for Hot Dog Week, man. I don't know what to tell you. I get to eat a Ripper dog for the first time. I've never had one of those. Do you know what a Ripper is?
That's the deep fried ones, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they call them a Ripper because you fry them until the skin rips apart.
Yeah, I watched that on Travel Channel.
Yeah, and so someone's doing that for Hot Dog Week.
Let me know how it is. I want your full Hot Dog Week report. I want to know. Because, all right. I'm with you as angry about most of these dogs, but I also want to shove so many of them in my face.
I will update you on how Hot Dog Week turns out assuming I survive.
Thank you.
That's my only goal for Hot Dog Week, is not to die in the midst of it. I don't need to eat something that's good. I don't need to. I don't need to eat a certain amount of things. I just need to get out with my life.
I don't even need to enjoy it.
No, because no matter what, it's going to be an experience. And I want to be able to tell people about it afterwards instead of just dying gloriously in the middle of it.
All right.
I'm just so proud of this city. It's just it's living up to the challenge with all of the horror and creativity that I wanted it to.
Yeah. Yeah.
How have you been?
I'm gonna say I broke even. Okay. That's how I've been. I broke even, and that's all I can take from it. Keeping it really, really short. Our car died. No kaputs, not worth it. My mom got a new car, and she's like, "Hey, do you want my old car?" So it's like, all right, I'll take it. I'm even Steven, baby.
I'm suspecting sabotage. This is lining up a little too perfectly. Did you somehow make your mom buy a new car?
No.
So that she could shed her old car like a hermit crab?
Unless I know how to astral project in my sleep, which, who knows, maybe subconscious Evan does. I wish he'd teach conscious Evan how to do it.
That would be really useful. Yeah, and if you could start doing it on purpose, even better.
Yeah. Honestly, I would mostly just take it to go fight ghosts. I don't think I actually want to like interact with people. I do enough of that during the day, so if I could astral project in my sleep, it's like, all right, superhero time, baby.
I would so appreciate that, because the ghosts have been giving a lot more than they've been taking in terms of damage lately, and someone's got to stand up to them. We need a hero. And you're squandering your talents in making your mom buy a car.
Just getting cars.
You can pick up her leavings, her sloppy car seconds.
Encourage consumption. I don't know. I don't freaking know, man. All I do know is that all I have and want in me is to talk some weird questions. You cool if we just get right into it, bud?
Let's question.
Let's find out what the first question of the night is, and it's still rolling, and it's off the table, and it's number 20. There it goes. Number 20.
Before you get into it, I was hoping for kind of a meatball on top of spaghetti situation where you would have to chase the question across town and then come report back with what the number was after a number of hijinks.
Meatball across spaghetti?
On top of spaghetti, all covered in cheese. Did you? Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. You didn't have a childhood.
No,
I didn't. Are you not familiar with this song?
No. You know what I listened to as a kid? Polka music. You know what I've been listening to a lot lately? Polka music. It's still great.
Maybe you got the better of it, but it's just a fun kid's song about how somebody lost their meatball and it rolled out into the yard and turned into a tree. And then there was a meatball tree.
Fabulous. All right. I love that. But what I love more is learning if you, Connor, have a best concert memory.
I do have concert memories.
Do you have a best one? Which one rises above the rest?
I'm riffling through all the times I've been at concerts.
I always pronounced it rifling through. I thought there was only one F.
Now I'm riffling through my virtual dictionary. Stop it. You're distracting me.
So I have a favorite or best concert memory, and it's with you, you jerk.
Then that one's mine too. Actually, my answer is yours. Evan, what was my answer again? You tell me my favorite concert memory, please.
It's not yours. It is mine. It is mine specifically. It is the first time that we ever got to see the Wombats. It was at Paradise Rock Club in Boston, like back when we were in college. I remember you were in Massachusetts for some reason. You might have been on break at the time. And we drove over. Your car died on the highway, and you returned over the engine in the middle of the highway.
Yeah, Yeah, that was a fun little feature on that first car I had of every now and then it would just stop and
it did it again on the way home too. So like you were an old fucking pro.
And then we drove it again after that. Oh, good God.
Yeah,
we didn't know the meaning of death.
Not the wisest. But yeah, it was the first time that we got to see the Wombats, and it was when This Modern Glitch was their most recent record. And I remember they opened with Our Perfect Disease. And that was just the great way to get the crowd just like slowly building up until the fucking break, and then everyone starts dancing to the pop music. Oh, it was so good. But like the whole concert was great because like Murph was so like deep in the throes of depression. He did not say a word the whole show. Dan, the drummer, was actually the one being the front man for the show, telling all the stories and like making all the laughs. And I remember the last song that they played, the encore, the opener came out in full costume because it was a Halloween show. And they started just having like a guitar battle, and they like started pushing, like kicking at each other while they were like playing the solos and stuff.
Yep.
And then they played all the music while each one of the Wombats just went and crowd surfed for the rest of the song. And I remember that I was able to help hold up every single one of them. And that was pretty awesome.
Correct me if I'm wrong. They came out in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle costumes?
They might have. I thought it was Robin the Boy Wonder, but it was definitely some form of superhero thing. I wouldn't.
Excellent.
We might have definitely had some turtles, some heroes in a half shell shredding up on that stage. Who's the shredder now, dude?
What I remember from that concert, in addition to like it just being an excellent concert because the Wombats put on a good show.
They are so good.
They're UK band, and at the start of the concert, while we were milling around waiting for things to happen, we were talking about Doctor Who.
Yes.
And I do remember a couple of random people just like jumping in with their 2 cents about their opinions about Doctor Who at the time.
I remember that now.
Thinking about it later. Yeah. And like, oh yeah, of course all the Britophiles would be out for this. The chances of us starting up a good conversation about Doctor Who are higher here right now than the rest of Boston.
I do remember that. Wild. That was a fun night. Holds
time.
dear in my memory. What about you, bud? What holds dear in your memory? Is it actually the Wombats? It was a good show. Wait, Less Than Jake.
Less Than Jake.
Which one?
You might hold this a little bit tighter than I do because my autobiographical memory, not that tops. But what I remember, I think that was the first time I ever skanked, which for those not in the know is a really excellent form of dance that is very specific to ska music.
It's like skipping and kicking at the same time.
Yeah, and it's not worth trying to explain. Look it up. It's great.
You'll learn it in an afternoon on YouTube like I did when I was 12.
Well, because what I remember is, I think, Evan, you tried to explain it to me, and I didn't really know what the hell you were talking about because I didn't make you dance for me.
Yeah.
But when we went to see Less Than Jake, I recognized it immediately. And I learned it just as quick.
Yeah.
It just isn't that complicated. Once you get the basic rhythm, you can do whatever you feel like, and you don't need to worry about looking ridiculous, which is usually my biggest concern when it comes to dancing, because it's kind of ridiculous inherently, and because you don't need to make eye contact with anybody, because you also do tend to face the floor while you're doing it.
Gotta look at them feet, and also like you don't have to worry about your arms because they're just like moving like you're jogging, so they're naturally doing the thing. It's got all the work done for you.
In addition to learning how to skank, which is like the crystallized memory that I love most from that concert, they did also shave a dude's head on stage.
Yep.
And they also invited a middle-aged woman up on stage and had a beer with her I just want to share a beer with somebody who looks like a mom.
If my eyes don't deceive me, I see a beautiful MILF back there, and I want her to come up here and shotgun with a beer with me.
And so she did.
And the part that I remember from this is like Moses parting the Red Sea. The crowd opened to allow this woman to walk towards the stage, to which the front man goes, I see that chivalry is not dead here in Connecticut, but I was hoping to give her the full experience and have her crowd surf up here. And as soon as he finished that sentence, a couple of dudes just picked her up and fucking threw her.
We didn't have the vocabulary at the time because this was years ago, but they did yeet her vertically.
Yeah, it was great. And she crushed that fucking beer, if I remember.
Yeah. And I think, and this might be muddled with a different ska concert.
Yeah.
But this might be the same concert that also has my very worst concert memory.
Okay.
It was during a Warped Tour for sure. But there was somebody who's just a little too exuberant. And when it comes to moshing, it's usually really safe. I've found most people are pretty considerate. And the people who aren't, it's really obvious that they're really just trying to accidentally hurt somebody. And so it's not anything to worry about too much. But a shorter dude, I do remember, did like body check me. Like he lowered like a battering ram and rammed his shoulder into my side. And I don't know for sure, but it does sound a lot like what I read getting a kidney shot does to you.
Oh.
Because you might remember I was out of commission for like an hour and a half afterwards. If you remember, there was a concert where I would just tell you I needed to slow down for a little while.
That might have been it.
Yeah, your mom was really worried about me.
That was the day, yeah. Holy shit.
I started moving around like an old man and like needed to rest every 3 minutes of walking, really.
Oh, man. Yeah, dang.
I was brought so low.
What a jerk. I hope you remember this. If you don't, I hope I can charge your memory. But my favorite memory of you at that concert is when Less Than Jake did an EP all of cartoon openings.
Oh, yes.
And just like Connor's eyes lit up like a child seeing a Christmas tree for the first time in his life when they started playing the fucking Animaniacs theme song.
Animaniacs.
It's just so excited.
One, just a great tune, but also like precious childhood television show that I hadn't thought about in years at that point. But it just all came rushing back all at once. It was so cool. And they did such a great cover.
They did. They also did a real mean job with SpongeBob SquarePants, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I mean, they don't do it wrong. They are experts at covering cartoon themes.
That's a great point.
Weird how much that comes up in ska. With a Jabberjaw, right? I don't know if I think I would grade Pain as a ska light
kind of band. Yeah, ska adjacent. They're not ska, but like that one EP is the ska-iest of Pain.
Mm. And
God, I love Pain. They're so good.
Then there's Ska2 Network, who's, as far as I can tell, their entire career is just covering songs with ska, and probably started on cartoons.
Yeah,
and do a great job.
Yeah, it's very solid. I have the Undertale Ska2 Network record.
I think they use they them pronouns.
Cool. I don't follow up with them, so.
Yeah, well, now you're wiser.
Appreciate it. Shall we move along?
Yeah.
It's taking everything in my body not to start singing the All-American Rejects. Instead, I'm going to ask you a question, and it is thus. If you could have a dog-sized dinosaur as a pet, what would it be?
What does that have to do with All American Rejects?
Their fucking hit single, Move Along.
Ah, okay.
Go ahead as you waste your days with thinking.
Should have known better.
When you fall, everyone said.
Yeah, that one's on me.
Yeah. Dinosaur Pet. Dog size. Go.
I thought Dinosaur Pet was the All American Rejects thing.
No, moving along. Man, remember in the early aughts when like people sung songs about dinosaurs a lot?
No.
Yeah. Kesha.
No, but I wish I did.
Amy Can Fly with 2 Ys.
If someone could deliver those memories in pill form to me, I think I would be a happier person if I could just stop and remember those.
Just go listen to Animal by Kesha and you will be transported back to that time period and it will be great.
Okay. Well, I do want to say I want an Ankylosaurus, but I think that's a really bad idea.
Why? I don't...
Probably...
Okay. Is that the one with the mace for a tail?
That's correct. That's the one with a mace for a tail. And that would maybe be the worst answer. Because if it's a dog-sized creature, I'm just going to assume it also has dog-like tendencies.
Right.
Which means a lot of tail wagging, which would destroy your entire house.
Yeah.
So as much as I love them, and they are by far my favorite dinosaur, because we just don't have any club-tailed animals anymore. What happened? Why did nature give up on that brilliant, brilliant weapon?
I don't know. You need to go ask God himself. Astral project. I'll fight ghosts, you fight God. New episodes Saturdays at 10.
I'm gonna suspend my God fight to talk about how I'm gonna get one of the long neck dinosaurs.
Ooh, Brontosaurus, Charlotte Brontosaurus.
Perfect. Yeah, I don't want a full Dino-sized dinosaur pet because that Dino's too big and that causes problems.
Like Fred Flintstone's dog dinosaur?
Yeah.
I don't actually know how big that thing is. Keep talking.
Big, dude. And it's a constant source of consternation. There's just no end of this dinosaur is just too big. And boy howdy, does he lick everybody's face.
Yeah, that is oh god, what's the word? Mastiff. That is a mastiff-sized dinosaur.
So I could live without that, but a good medium-sized long-necked dinosaur, I just one of my favorite things about petting cats is the lean in.
Yeah.
And like the pass by of like, I'm just going to walk by you and I'm going to pet myself with your body. And going down the long neck and down the spine and the tail, I just think would be really satisfying.
I think another benefit for you with the long necked dinosaur like a cat is when they stretch real long trying to get them pets from you. So that head's just going to rise like an elevator.
Yeah. And the like putting your chin up on the stretch, like with a long neck like that, they could turn into like a question mark.
Oh my gosh,
for that kind of stretch.
You know when pets get all like, "Oh, I'm tired and I love you," and then they rest their like neck and head on you and go, but like so much neck, like your whole lap is taken up. That neck is curled up on you. That's love, baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
That's my new dino dog. I'm going.
What's
what
their
are you thinking? You got
What's their name?
You got a dinosaur?
What's your dog dino's name?
It's really personality dependent, but I'm going to go. I'm gonna shape the personality with the name. Let's go with Fossils.
Fossils?
Fossils. Fossils, the dinosaur dog.
I don't know why, but I feel like they're nearsighted.
This is a very clumsy dinosaur.
Yeah,
sure.
I'm really getting that
Constantly
sense.
endangering its life. Fossils.
Like, so lovable, but so stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, like the amount of times that there would just be a bush that it has its entire neck and head inside of, and
Yep.
I don't know what's in there. Probably a squirrel that's not happy about this reversal of evolution. Please get out of there, fossils. And the amount of time it would take to like a magician pulling scarves out to get its entire neck out of those dangerous situations.
Oh my god! At least when fossils eats your floss, like you don't have to worry about it getting stuck in the digestive tract because it's still in the neck. You can pull it out. I think it's fine.
Yeah, like a U-bend in a sink. There's just like a certain catch halfway. There's just so much going on.
Oh man, I love fossils. Fossils is such a good dino dog.
Can you just see like sitting at a table and it's dinner time and then there's just the head.
Just like a periscope rising out of the water to see what is for snacks. Incredibly cute, incredibly sweet. I'm gonna go. All right. Let's start with. I'm gonna name them sea green, and they are going to be a triceratops.
Very strong. I think, yeah, probably the doggiest dinosaur that I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah,
there's just something about the four legs, like sturdy build.
Yep.
Feels prime for a dog.
So triceratops are probably my favorite dinosaur. I really like. I mean, the three horns are very fun.
Yeah,
it's hard to beat. But I also think the frill carapace thing at the head is also just like it's a very pleasing shape. And yeah, same kind of thing. Like very stocky, sturdy. Like it kind of feels like Pitbull-y, where it's like. Big, solid, lazy.
Cinder block head.
Yep.
Yeah.
So like I know I can't do it with your dogs, but I like giving pets a big ol' smack on the belly when I'm petting them as like I love you. And I feel like a triceratops would be really, really solid for that and have good like surface area for them cuddles because I like resting my arm on the animal when I'm sitting next to it. And the poor decisions of my life, I like to kind of like wrestle with the animals, and Triceratops definitely a sturdier breed. It's got more handholds with the horns. Like, yeah, I'm more likely to get gored because like the cats scratch and bite me all the time. I'm gonna get got by the beak and the horns, but like it's more stuff to grab onto when I'm fucking with them and having a good time. And you know, I think Triceratops would be the best to get the both worlds of cuddle and play out of.
Well, there's definitely going to be a trimming process, right? For the you can't just have a dinosaur with three sharp horns running around. That I imagine sea green like scampering away when you get the nail file out.
Yeah.
You know, of like, come on, they're getting just too pokey. You're starting to put holes into things, and just the like mild protest.
Yeah, that's totally right. Yeah, because I feel like we tried like silicone caps at first, like baby bumpers for like corners of tables and stuff. But I feel like Sea Green's going to be smart enough to rub that off on the ground or something so they can get their horns back out. So yeah, it'll definitely be a trimming process, quite like the cat's claws or the dog's claws or any animals with claws.
The claws. And why Sea Green?
Felt right. Same thing with any other answers in this podcast. It felt right in the moment. That's who I am. That's who I am right now.
Okay. Sea Green the Triceratops.
It rolls off in a very pleasing way. It does. It's not like I named it Maurice. Or like
I want to congratulate us for having more sense than the Jurassic Park folks.
As someone who has never seen a Jurassic Park, only died a lot in the PlayStation 1 video game. What?
I'm just glad we had the foresight to pick plant eaters.
And make them small.
And small. Small helps a lot. That does make a big difference. But Jurassic Parks would have been so much more successful if there were no T-Rexes running around eating people. If the Triceratops busted out of their cage and then they just fell asleep in a different field than they usually are in, probably okay.
Yeah.
Probably not as much rampage potential.
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking that far. I was just like, this thing cool. So
your instincts are smarter than you are. You've got wisdom underneath that. This is cool.
Go with them guts, folks. The guts knows what's up. And what else is up?
The dinosaur pet doesn't get your guts.
Is another question. We're moving down to number 59. And it is, what is your go-to family comfort food? All right, I think
Mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes. Period.
Insert Irish joke here.
Good one.
Wow.
You really got me.
Real creative. You haven't heard that all the time. Oh no.
Mashed potatoes were just practically every meal.
Yep.
It didn't do it wasn't something that had to come out. If we were having spaghetti and meatballs. Yep. But if you could conceivably serve it with mashed potatoes, that was just my entire childhood.
Yeah.
And my mom knows the secret to making a good bowl of mashed potatoes.
Is it using the dehydrated packets that heat up in boiling water in a minute? Because that's what my mom used.
Incorrect. I'm not going to knock those because I don't want to be elitist.
I think they're delicious.
Everybody likes their own way of doing things, but I think no. But I think this secret also applies to those mashed potatoes.
Okay, is it a shitload of butter? Can I know the secret?
It is a shitload of butter, my friend.
Fuck
that
yeah.
is exactly the point.
It makes everything better.
Shitload of butter. It's it's one of 3 ingredients in mashed potatoes. The other ingredient being salt. So milk. 4 ingredients. 4 ingredients.
Okay, dairy, and salt.
Yeah, when butter is 25% of the grocery list to make this item, it's going to be a central player.
Yeah, I do remember visiting your house growing up and just seeing the giant just sacks of potatoes just in the kitchen. They got their use, man.
I got sent off to college with a 25-pound bag of potatoes.
I love it.
It just seemed like this is something he's going to need if he's going to be cooking for himself.
That's really good. Now, is it because you were growing up with it, or because it's just so freaking tasty, or does it feel unique to your family? Like what? Let's peel back the skin on the potato of this question. This metaphor is getting away from me. Please start answering before I continue talking.
Yeah, it's just the consistency of it. I mean, it is delicious and it's filling and it sticks to your ribs.
Yeah.
But just the fact that it was almost always there. I growing up just assumed everybody has mashed potatoes all the time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I like it. It's hard to beat. Like, if you don't like mashed potatoes, I'm very surprised.
It's home cooking. I mean, unless it's a texture thing, and then you've got a couple of different options for how exactly you're gonna make those mashed potatoes, and maybe we can figure this out. Let's troubleshoot. You too can enjoy mashed potatoes.
You can make the smooth whipped ones. You can have the skins in them. You can do a little middling thing. A
couple of different potato varieties.
Yeah,
including box. Box is also a potato variety.
Yeah. It's what I have. Still to this day. Although Leah doesn't really mean roasted potato.
Box potatoes too are 10% of the effort, and that is a huge advantage. Yeah. So what about you? What's your family comfort food?
Oh man, I don't remember what I always try to remember what I had when we were coming up with these questions. And I'm pretty sure it was different, but right tonight it's got to be pierogi. I know it's been coming up a lot lately, but it's the same kind of thing, man. It's hard. It is so hard to beat a dumpling, you know?
All right, I'm just going to swallow the Polish joke. There it goes. Okay, and we don't.
Thank you. There we go.
I'm just going to be the bigger person today, even though you made that horrendously offensive Irish joke.
It was so uncouth. I got to bleep it.
Frankly, I think you should leave it in just for the edginess factor.
Wow.
I think this is our entry into podcast fame.
Yeah.
Let's make racism
we're real
white
guys
again.
podcast now, you know. We're not doing any of that PC stuff.
Hey, I'm just gonna say it like it is. Irish people eat a lot of potatoes, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm having potatoes wrapped in dough.
Ooh.
Covered in a shitload of butter. Wow.
Delicious.
Yeah.
And so sophisticated.
I know, right? Same kind of thing, though. It hits all those beats of childhood, comfort, filling, potato, dairy. Yeah, there's just something about it. Because, like, same with you. Like, you don't want to be elitist. I just genuinely love all width and breadth of pierogi. Like, there are kinds that I find not good. Like I think the Jaju brand was middling, and it was such a bummer. I bought some pierogi from the church, and I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna have some cheese pierogi. It was sweet. I'm a savory boy, and I didn't know that they made sweet cheese pierogi, so I was like, this is trash.
Not for me. Well, yeah, I mean, you could have your preferences, but
Yeah.
what was the preparation pattern in your house? Because Evan and I both have Irish and Polish heritage, just in different amounts, and so I had some pierogi growing up as well. But I want to know what the preparation was for you.
Well, you go to the store, you buy a box of Mrs. T's or bocce's in the frozen aisle, and then you pour it into boiling water.
And you serve it like that?
Yeah, then you fish it out, put it on a table, and put some butter on it. Usually beside some kielbasa and pickled beets.
There was no boiling in my household, even when you got them frozen. They were all fried. Right into the pan with hot butter.
I never had fried pierogi until I was in college. I'm Polish. My family comes from a Polish background. My bocce makes pierogi every Christmas, which is the other spectrum of pierogi that I absolutely love. It's so freaking good. But yeah, I didn't know that frying was a thing. Like, we always boiled it. It was always boiled. Like, even the stuff that we made at bocce's, it was only fried, like, to set, like, the gelatin on the dough so it could store better. Yeah, no, it was always boiled. As a grown man, now we tend to fry them. Like the stuff we...
Results definitely vary. It does make a difference, but not necessarily in a good way.
Frozen pierogi, I like to boil. Fresh pierogi, I like to fry. Like, homemade pierogi, I think should be fried. But, like, the box stuff, like Mrs. T's, which is totally valid. It's so freaking good. Just go buy it. It like, Polish background family is certified. Those just get fished out of the water, a little bit of butter on top, salt and pepper. Yum.
See, now I've adapted a dual process for the frozen pierogi of giving them a quick boil, like a parboil, and then frying them after that. Because, like, frying is great and a wonderful way to get butter onto things, which is much of the point for both of these dishes. But because when they were just fried frozen, it's a very inconsistent cook.
Yeah.
Because some of it is still frozen and other parts of it are cooking, and, like, it did something weird to the dough at times.
That's very strange.
On the same plate, you'd have, like, 3 different qualities of pierogi.
Okay. That's so weird. So, like, we didn't do any, like, frying to get the butter on it, but we definitely had to get the butter on it. And I remember this is just every single time my mom put a ton of butter into one of the plastic measuring cups with the spout. Mm-hmm. And she would nuke that until it was melted, and then we would pour the melted butter on the pierogi. Like we wouldn't
the spout, like the spout that's at the bottom.
No. Like a pitcher. Like a pitcher.
Oh, okay. Just like the lip at the top.
Yeah.
Okay. I was wondering if your mom was onto something like really
like those perfect pancake or gravy separators.
Well, I was thinking, yeah, it was the fat separator, like where the spout comes at the bottom so that you could pour all the stock out underneath the layer of fat that settles at the top. Yeah.
We're talking about the same thing. Yeah. No, just
I didn't
regular
know that
thing.
had anything to do with pancakes.
I think some people will use those for a pancake and just have because it comes out the center and it spreads out, it makes more disc-shaped circular pancakes.
Huh.
303. Want. Yeah. No, it took me until I was in my 20s to be like, oh, I can just cut off a slice of butter and smear it on the pierogi. I don't think I'm very smart.
You know, Evan, you didn't need to be smart because it was a comfort time.
Yeah,
this was not like time for innovation and going beyond tradition. It was a time to just enjoy lovely food.
It's just how it is, and it makes me happy. The one concerning thing with comfort foods is when you bring it into other people's lives who don't share the same histories as you. For sake of example, this is unrelated to pierogi, but still related to mashed potatoes, because my mom would make shepherd's pie, and I was making it for Leah because she was all excited about it. But I did it the way that my family did, which was you make a bowl of hamburger, a bowl of corn, and a bowl of mashed potatoes, and then you just slop them all onto a plate. And Leah's like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, I'm making dinner. It's like, why aren't you baking it? Like, you bake it? What? For years. I was an adult. I moved out of my parents' home. I was a grown adult in a committed relationship.
You know, man, I don't think it's improved in the baking all that much. It gives the potatoes a weird, film on top. And I mean, the meat's already cooked. The corn's hot. Why are we bringing the oven into this?
I'm glad that you like it, because it's just it's all gonna get mushed up anyway. Let me just shovel it into my face like the monster I am.
Yeah, I think the long dish that you would use to put it in the oven is a good serving thing, and you get to see the layers, and it just looks better than just pile. But I don't know that you really need to put it in the oven at all.
And this way, when you're serving a la carte, you can be like, oh, I want a little bit more meat today. Ooh.
It was how much gravy was involved? Because my family had a comparatively dry shepherd's pie, I think, to what a lot of people are used to.
The meat. It was the meat had a sauce, sauced wings amount of gravy for the Hamburg, mostly
Gotcha.
sticking to the meat itself. A little bit of something thinner, for the mix-ins, but not, it's not wet. Yeah, no, it's not wet.
Yeah. That's one of those dishes that really varies depending on where you're coming from. I think some people have a much heartier meat and onions and some other vegetable and more a gravy that's sitting
get
on
some
the bottom.
Not corn. Get some carrots and celery in that business.
Yeah, more stew, and then you put mashed potatoes on top of it. I don't even know that corn is always involved.
I have no idea. I just know that it was an easy dinner because my mom came home from work late all the time. Was like, well, now I need to feed 3 hungry children. My dad was one of the children. So it's okay, nuke a can of corn, boil a pot of water for some mashed potatoes, and fry up some Hamburg. Done. I think she also used the Heinz glass jar of gravy.
Awesome.
Not fucking around. It's, man, fucking, it's not like chefy or restaurant quality, but fuck me if it's not good.
It was hot dogs and beans in my household, which is just a can of beans, just some cut up hot dogs.
Dude, I can't, as an adult, I can't fucking do boiled hot dogs anymore. I had too many of that as a kid. So, anyway, let's move on to our fourth and final question. I can't believe it's the end of the night already. And we are in for it, Connor. We need to brace ourselves and understand that the newer versions of us are also still thinking of questions, because we have number 97.
Okay, so consider my loins girded. I'm ready.
What do you like about frogs? A heavy night, I think. I think we had a lot of animal questions.
Yeah, let's say that's yeah, we really kind of cut into our postmodern phase of questions to introduce the podcast around then. Okay.
To be fair, like, my answer is a lot. I like a lot of things about a lot of frogs.
Okay, let me start, because I think you've got more to say about frogs than I do, but I do like frogs.
Yeah, who doesn't like frogs? Is it two listeners, do you like frogs? Let us know. I don't know how you'll let us know, but figure it out. Let us know. Calls to action.
I think their faces just make them look like they're hoping nobody asks them about the obvious question. Like they showed up somewhere and they know that there's they're out of place, and they're just hoping nobody asks. Like somebody who walks into a party and they just have like a blood stain on their shirt, and they're just like, I just don't want to have to talk about it. Can everybody just please not notice me? That's the expression I read on the average frog's face.
I am sitting outside at the principal's office because my shitty son got into trouble yet again.
Yeah.
They're the frogs' faces are very old man tired. Even the little cute, like, poisonous ones, they're still like, yeah, I'm tired. I just got big eyes.
It's those big round eyes. Very solid. And I just love how they refuse to compromise on the amphibious lifestyle, despite all the obvious drawbacks of breathing through your skin only when it's wet. Nobody thought that was a good idea, except for the frogs. And they stuck with it, and they evolved that way. And they can do water and land, but not either of them without the other.
I can sit in the sun for hours on end. Oh, I'm a little dry. Gotta get wet. I love it.
Great. Now I'm in the water. I get to do some swimming. Starting to run a little low on oxygen. All right, gotta get out of the water. Just living life in between.
It's not. I don't think they're in between. I think they're just getting the best of both worlds.
And that's exactly what a frog would say.
I just, it's like when I go to the beach, I make sure to get equal sand and salt time. Like, I want to go take that dip in that ocean, get all nice and cool, but then I want to go soak in the sun and fall asleep. And I don't breathe through my skin.
Yeah. You don't even need to breathe through your skin to enjoy that. Have you? Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd it work out?
It felt like holding my breath. I don't know what you expected, man.
Have you tried breathing anywhere else? Now I'm curious. What's your we can talk about frogs later. What's been your alternative breathing strategies?
Fucking the past 3 weeks, it's been my nose. I've been trying to breathe through my nose, and it has been unsuccessful.
Why would you switch to nose breathing at this phase in your life?
I'm sticking a mouth, man. Just big ol'. I'm just congested. I'm just congested as hell, man.
Well, all right, never mind. Tell me about frogs. I want to hear more about frogs.
I like that frogs look like friends. They're just friend boys, man. Like, I love like even the poisonous ones. Like, oh, I'm all bright colors, so I you shouldn't eat me because I'll kill you. And I'm like, yeah, kill me with cuteness, motherfucker. Look at you. Ain't you the damnedest little dude? Let me soak in them reds and blues. Like, yeah, I love the coloration of more exotic ones. I love the like regular greens of just the fucking pond frogs outside. Like, I do. I genuinely love how they just sit. There's just something about just like that thing is in the moment and it is loving every second of it. You can see the little breathing and the croaks with the neck thing expanding, but it's just there. It's just chilling. It's a nice summer day and we're all together. Like I love that, and I love that frog iconography is like all over the internet, whether with like video games or t-shirts and stuff. And it's just always just like fun, bright, weird, green. It's like, yeah, maybe we do need some more frogs in our lives.
Do you have a favorite video game frog?
Favorite video game frog? I haven't played it, but the game Frog Gun looks really, really cute.
Is that Frogger but with guns?
No, it's this like explorer girl with a frog shaped gun, and when she fires it, the tongue extends and it allows her to platform.
That's awesome. And the tongue is a big selling point of the frog. That is a very exciting and unique feature.
Yeah, it do stretch.
Maybe not that. I mean, not totally unique, right? You've still got like chameleons out there, but
yeah. But there was a Game Boy a game that was called I think it's like The Frog for Whom the Bell Tolls, and it's the story of a prince whose like kingdom gets turned into frogs by an evil witch, and you gotta like solve the puzzles and stuff. I remember it being surprisingly cute. It's like you had to like learn frog language, and your rival was like the head frog. He's like, all right, we'll partner together to break out of here. And he's like leading a band of little frogs to run out of the prison.
Have you ever read the original The Princess and the Frog story?
No.
So main thrust of what most people know is princess finds a frog and kisses it, despite its horrible nature, and it turns into a prince.
That sounds like frog just like debasement propaganda. I don't like that.
Yeah, now I'm hearing all the admiration you have for frogs.
Frogs are great. Like, they're so cute. Look at them, little guys. I love little guys.
You know, the occasional hallucinations that come out of that kind of contact. I bet that you would very willingly give a little frog a smoocheroo. Just to say, hey, I like you, little frog buddy.
More things need some nice little platonic smooches.
Yeah. But in the original story, the princess was like out playing with her ball that was made out of solid gold. So this is already a story of extreme privilege.
Yeah, dang.
And wicked gains, because she's a small girl and she's carrying a very, very dense metal.
Yeah, holy cow, that is one jacked 8-year-old.
But she's careless, and she throws it, and it goes into a well, and she's sad about it. So a frog comes out. It's like, hey, I'll go get that for you if you want to be my friend. And she's like, yes, peasant, fetch me my ball. And the frog gets it for her, and then she's like, peace out, I never want to see you ever again.
Oh, that's so shitty.
It is. The frog follows her home, and it has impeccable manners, and explains the situation to her parents. And her parents are like, well, he's a very nice frog. You should hang out with him. So they make her hang out with him, but she's not nice to him.
Oh.
And I think eventually the kiss is involved, and then he turns into a prince, and it turns out like now she's twice as wealthy as she was in the first place, and he willingly marries her despite how awful she's been to him.
Oh my god, dude, self-respect, my guy.
Yeah, it's one of the weirder fairy tales, because you're like, why would she be rewarded at the end? Aren't they supposed to teach you a lesson?
Yeah.
But it doesn't teach you a lesson. It just teaches you, hey, listen, kids, you're probably pretty shitty sometimes too, but things work out anyways.
Another answer to my favorite video game frog is Frog from Chrono Trigger.
Tell me about Frog and Chrono Trigger.
Okay, so Chrono Trigger is a Super Nintendo Entertainment System game. It is heralded as one of the best, if not the best, JRPG of all time.
Huh.
It's very good. I played it a lot later in life. I think I beat it 2 years ago. If it was not, like 2 years ago.
Did you go after it just for the frog content?
No, I went after it just because I knew Chrono Trigger was supposed to be like really good. So it's the story of this boy named Chrono. It's Akira Toriyama's work, so he looks exactly like Gohan.
And he has a trigger, I bet.
No. So
I've been led astray.
And his friends get thrust back in time, and that starts a chain reaction where they need to travel through the future and past and present to save the world from Lavos.
If I got sent back in time with my friend Chrono, I would never stop being suspicious of him. That would just, you could not convince me that he didn't make that happen.
Oh no, it was his friend Luca who made a time machine. Yeah. But either way, one of the characters that you meet is in the Middle Ages, and his name is Frog. He was a knight that got cursed to look like a frog. He's like, you do not need to, like, my name, I guess you can call me Frog from now on. And
I'm story of someone who needs a little bit more self-respect.
No, but he's just like, this is what I am now. This is fine. He still spent his entire amphibian life trying to protect the princess and save the world. Like, he's a very good dude. And he hits like a fucking truck. He was very deep in my party. Very good frog. Very good boy. Also, Frog Knight. What a cool fucking idea.
Frog Knight. Why does that sound so familiar? Now, I've got a favorite frog in a video game.
You
get to play as the Frog Knight in the Plus game afterwards, I think.
The Plus game? What are you talking about?
Like when you finish the
New
game and then
Plus?
you get to restart it.
I don't know. What
New
is
Game
this?
Plus. I don't know. My mind is not gonna yield this knowledge to me.
That's too bad. That's too bad. But what?
Shovel Knight? No.
It's okay, Connor. You don't need to think about this anymore. And you, listener, don't really need to listen anymore, because we're at the end of the podcast. You didn't need to listen this far, but you did, and we appreciate it.
We do. And we also appreciate that you're going to let me Google Frog Knight Game Plus so that I can have catharsis.
So while Connor's doing that, you can get your questions asked and answered, or just send any comments to us by sending an email at theanswersalemon@gmail.com. I'm not going to plug in Connor because he has a very focused face right now. Instead, I will repeat that. The answer's a lemon. No, it's not. It's lemonanswers@gmail.com. This is why I need Connor. Lemonanswers@gmail.com. If you want to hit us up on social media and just see our jokes and answer our questions there, you can find us at The Answer Is a Lemon. Once again, that's The Answer Is a Lemon. We're on TikTok and YouTube and BlueSky and Instagram. And that's all that jazz. If you want to help us out, you can rate us. Please do positively, if you wouldn't mind, on whatever app you're listening to this podcast from. But otherwise, hope you're well. Love you. Bye.
Damn you, Frog Knight.